Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Yesterday's vision reading, some more tests were there. Nobody. Nobody was playing. So the test number 4. Does divesting oneself of money and other possessions help in maintaining constant God remembrance and total reliance on God? Answer: yes, it does. Incident from Papa's life. Ramdas had then with him ₹9, which amount he handed over to Sadhu Ram, and felt much relieved by doing so. To carry money is to carry anxiety with you. Or he draws attention to it now and then. On making over the money, he suggested to the Sadhu Ram to get the rupees changed into 1 coins and have them all distributed to the poor who were begging at the doors of temples, and this desire he carried out. Now Ramdas threw himself more completely than ever on the support of Ram, with only 2 clothes and a few books, all his possessions in the world. Test number 5. Is it possible to accept all situations with a positive attitude, even when they appear to be adverse? Answer: yes. By bringing in God dimension, this is possible. Incident from Papa's life. While traveling to Rameshwaram with the Sadhu Ram, his guide, without tickets, the ticket inspector asked both of them to detrain at the next station. At once getting up, Ramdas told the Sadhu Ram that it was Ram's wish that they should alight at that place. Walking out of the station, they came to the high road. Here the Sadhu Ram grumbled over the action of the inspector. To this Ramdas said, brother, we cannot travel all along to Rameshwaram by train. Pilgrimages should be made on foot. But somehow, Ram was kind enough to take us on the train so far. We have only to walk a distance of 6 miles in order to reach Rameshwaram. Only to 6 miles. It is the will of Ram that this distance should be covered by foot. Be cheerful, brother. Test number 6. Is it possible to feel benefited by the darshan of a deity in a temple when the aspirant is very clear that to realize and experience the all-comprehensive glory and the all-absorbing splendor of the great truth God, one has to go beyond name and form to the height of the impersonal God that dwells within? Is it possible to feel benefited? Answer: yes. It is possible when the aspirant realizes that God is his manifestation and beyond. Suddenly we feel, no, his manifestation is not there. Then the confusion comes. Incident from Papa's life. When beloved Papa was led to the famous temple in Rameshwaram, he expressed his experience thus: when the sadhus approached the Holy of Holies, they found the door open. The worship of Rameshwar was going on in all its ceremonial eclat. O Ram, all glory to thee, the occasion and the place sent thrills of joy into Ramdas's soul. Test number 7. How do we develop oneness with all, even in small and seemingly insignificant situations? Answer: we should try to see God in all manifestation, animate and inanimate, from the minutest to the grossest. Incident from Papa's life. At Madurai, on seeing the tired Sadhu Ram's leg touching beloved Papa's body in sleep, one Swami who had great respect for beloved Papa remonstrated and was about to awaken the Sadhu Ram when beloved Papa intervened, saying, Swamiji, it is all right, his feet are holy, he is Ramdas's Guru, he is Ram, so no harm anyway. Test number 8. Is it possible to accept all situations calmly without any regret? Answer: yes, provided we have neither attraction nor repulsion for it. Incident from Papa's life. At midday, he reached the precincts of the temple of Chidambaram. He went up straight to the entrance of the temple, but could not gain admission, as none was allowed to get in without a payment of rupees 4 annas, the entrance fee. He was without a single pai, which, however, he did not at all regret. So we have only selected a few for this November issue. Let us see what can be done in the December later. Papa, the guiding star, narrative. With the mind full of reverence for the great Upasani Baba, whose dedication to Guru was total, this child and the party reached his ashram at Sakori. The uniqueness of the ashram is that it is manned by lady sadhakas, and their spiritual head is Devi Tai. Lady sadhakas, as part of their sadhana, in all other places, to the various places associated with Upasani Baba's earthly sojourn, and lovingly explain all the details. Prostrating at the main shrine and seeking the blessings of this venerable saint, the Dham, in the very heart of Nasik town, was also visited. In the evening, there was a Satsang program, and quite a good number of friends attended. Devotees of Kashi Math of the Gaudasaras community, who also took part in the program, rendered beautiful bhajans, which are followed by Ramanam chanting. This child spoke a few words, highlighting the importance of organizing such get-together periodically, so that all participants would be reminded of the ultimate goal of becoming one with God. After Arati and Prasad distribution, the program came to an end. Our main program for the next day was a visit to Triambakeshwar, which place was sanctified by our beloved Papa. In those days, as there were but scan facilities available, beloved Papa had to walk for miles and miles. However, we reached the great temple with an hour's drive. All the while we were mentally recalling the experiences narrated by beloved Papa in the book In Quest of God. After Having darshan of the Murti in the main temple, we went to the Udbhavasthan of the sacred river Godavari. Offering our prayers and respects to Mother Godavari, we drove to Nivrtinath's Samadhi. Puja Mataji's detailed narration of Saint Nivrtinath, as serialized by dear Swamiji with the Divine Mother, came to our mind. From here we proceeded to Tapovan in Panchavati, which place is closely connected to the great epic Ramayana. The confluence of three rivers, almost similar to the holy Prayag, the cave where Sitaji spent her time, the spot where Lakshmanji cut off Shurpanaka's nose, are some of the places we visited in Panchavati. We were mentally going through the incidents of Ramayana. In the evening, soaked with love from Radhevan and all the members of her family, his child left for Delhi, Muktananda. Words of Papa. Pray to God in solitude for more and more intense aspiration. Your mind must be one-pointed. The purpose of your going to solitude is to commune with God undisturbed. Pray to God, O Lord, shower your grace on me. Make my mind one-pointed and let it rest on you. Make me meditate on you properly and absorb me in your soul. By constantly fixing your mind on God, you do become God. You should have no other thought except that of God. Whenever you constantly think of that, you become. Dear children, how the Lord puts us to test to correct us. On August 22, 1957, Vinobaji writes this. Just 2 days before I left Kerala for Karnataka, I was sleeping under a mosquito net. Suddenly I felt a sharp sting. I thought it was a scorpion. Got up and shook out the bedding. A centipede fell out. The sting gave me such intense pain that I could not sit still. I had to keep walking to and fro. Something like 5 hours must have passed. Then at last I lay down and my tears overflowed. Vallabha Swami, who was one of those with me, thought that my tears were due to the pain. I am not in pain, I said. All of you go to sleep. What had happened was this. All this time I had been inwardly repeating to myself a Sanskrit prayer. O God, give me devotion. Cleanse my mind of all faults. May it be without sin. And thou who dwellest in the hearts of us all, this is the desire of my... O thou who dwellest in the hearts of all, this is the desire of my heart. I have no other desire. O God, I am speaking the truth. But in fact, while I repeated these words, I had another desire. I longed that the pain of the sting should subside. I was saying Satyam Vadami, I am speaking the truth, but really it was Jutam Vadami, I was telling a lie. What a display of egoism. In my mind I was crying aloud, how long are you going to torment me? And suddenly all the pain was gone, completely gone. And I felt myself held as in a close embrace. That was when my tears overflowed. And within 2 minutes, I was asleep. I experienced God then in His quality of mercy. Through this incident, Vinobaji, Papa is reminding us through Vinobaji. Whatever we utter in the form of prayer, he was also praying. Nanyas Prahar Guvade. It was a slogan from Tulsidas Ramayana. Hridayasmide, Satyam Vadami. So like that, whenever we repeat a prayer, we cannot utter like a parrot. We normally, O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. These two things we have to check up for ourselves. I come in all humility to thy holy feet. Do I? And surrender myself entirely to thee. So suddenly we are not there. Why are you making me to say this? How long you are going to torment me like this? He says, what a display of egoism. In my mind I was crying, how long are you going to torment me? One word from Vinobaji's heart. No? Suddenly all the pain was gone. So Papa is assuring that if you pray what you are praying, if you pray to make you aware what you are praying, you will be blessed to have it. If you pray the meaning of what you are praying from the bottom of the heart, that prayer will be immediately heard. Because also, Vinobaji was a purified instrument. In our case, probably it may take some more time. But what is needed is that the prayer has been instrumental in making us a stock taking of ourselves, and then pray to Him from the bottom of the heart to live up to what He has been asked to pray. This incident keeps on coming back to us. Nowadays we are very alert. Whenever we utter any prayer, what is the meaning? Because majority of our Arati prayer, everything is in Marathi, about which we have no idea. So then that is why we got it translated into English and brought out a small book called Ananda Shmarti book. Because many people may not know Marathi. Whatever is sung, in the same tune, even we did not know that this Prabhu Vishwanatha is the translation of universal prayer. Because that is normally, when we started coming to ashram, that will be there rendered in English. And later on this will be sung. And it was nice to hear the tune, the harmonium, everything was nice. So we did not know anything about this. It was absolutely zero in Marathi. Later on, yes, one foreigner came here and the foreigner wanted, what are we chanting? Can I get a translation? Then at that time we took we remember, somebody's help and then, we immediately, the universal prayer was in a big printed, something like you can display it on the wall, sometime during late 60s. That was available here. So somebody said, this is the translation. Then immediately we typed out on the computer and then we gave it to him. Only on that day we came to know that Prabhu Vishwanatha is the direct translation of universal prayer. But even then we did not apply our mind on each and every word, sentence. Only later on. What are we doing every day religiously offering our prayer? And what is our life? It is still not in alignment with what we are praying. Not on what we are telling. Praying, okay. Praying we can always say. But what we are telling, I offer myself entirely to thee. Have I offered entirely? So this Vinobaji's prayer, every one of us should keep on remembering this. Any prayer. When we say adorable presence, now and here, do I really ask that I should feel His presence now and here? Epistles of Swami Ramdas. Beloved Ram, understand that the so-called difficulties that beset us in our life, far from being undesirable, help as we are the very spice of life. Through this experience, we strengthen our will force and grow day by day to be more powerful for fighting fearlessly against the darkening influences of ignorance in this battle of life. Therefore, be brave, face things with a bold, unperturbed front, have unshakable faith in the Almighty Lord of the universe. Remember the 22nd sloka, 9th chapter of the Gita. To those men who worship me alone, Ananya Chintayantoma, thinking of no other, to those ever harmonious, I bring full security. So take complete refuge in the Lord, and He is bound to take care of you and yours. Don't be dejected. Do not forget that the Supreme Lord is the friend of the helpless, Savior of the distressed. May the Lord grant you peace and strength and shower His grace on you. Memoriam P.G. Subramaniam, an ardent devotee of the ashram from Chennai, was called by Virat Papa on 22nd September 2020. We pray for Virat Papa's blessings on the departed soul for eternal rest and peace at his lotus feet. 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna. The total Nam Japa received for the third round of the 15,500 crore Nam Japa Yajna for world peace in the month of September is 200 crores. The grand total of the japa done so far in this round now stands at 8,766 crores. 101st Jayanti of Puja Swami Satchidananda. Puja Swamiji's 101st Jayanti will be celebrated on the 12th November 2020. Puja Swamiji was the personification of humility, forbearance, and Guru Seva. May this day be instrumental in reminding us of these noble ideals that he epitomized, and may he bless us to live up to the teachings of our Guru. Thought for the month: there is no greater acquisition in this life than perfect faith in God that stands all tests and weathers. So you might be remembering that this particular issue covered the 8 points that we are supposed to keep it in our mind while going through in quest of God, to derive the maximum benefit out of it, and also to pick out some of the tests meted out to Papa by Ram, and how every time Papa passed the test. Suppose we keep it in our mind that whatever challenges he makes us to face, whatever commitments he makes us to honor, whatever duties he wants us to perform, they are all tests given to us. Many a time we grumble, we complain. As spiritual children of Papa, we should know that everything is a test not to dispirit us, a test not to discourage us, a test not to feel uncomfortable with us, but only to make us more and more stronger and stronger and stronger, so that our commitment towards moving towards Him becomes faster and faster. Let us all, yesterday we requested many of you to identify some tests and inform us. We couldn't open the email so far, so we have not seen whether anybody has sent or not. Anyway, if not, you can send it tomorrow also. Now going back to at the feet of God, straight away from an inner dialogue, he talks about visions he had. We have been thinking, why Papa placed those visions here? What came up in our mind was, for the past 20-25 pages, Papa was dealing with highly subjective subject where nobody else was there. It was purely an inner dialogue that was taking place in him, where the tug of war was going on in the form of doubts to get more and more stabilized. It was purely an impersonal aspect. Nobody else is there, you know. So then it may look dry. After certain pages, you know, we may not be able to go along with it. So that's why probably Papa thought. No, not only the inner dialogue, the mind can have inner dialogue. The mind can also bring in the vision of those who have inspired you. And it is so specific, you will find. It is not simply seeing on a flash and then going on. First you will see the vision he had of Lord Krishna. There was a vision. The boy Krishna was seen dancing, playing upon his flute. He was slender. Now you see the word picture, you know. The word picture he is drawing on our mind.
Caricature.
Word picture.
Caricature, she says.
Word picture, yeah, correct. It's a caricature, no doubt. But it is not with brush and paste, brush and what you call color. It is not on a canvas. The canvas is our mind. And word is the brush and paint. That's why it's called word picture. It's an art. Sri Krishna ji, who knows this, you know, he might be now thinking about it. He had outward, you know, and then he knew that the inward caricature is being brought out in the form of an outward caricature. So first we should have that inward vision. Then only that vision can be transformed. Visualizing the image first. With all its meticulous points, you know, details. The boy Krishna was seen dancing, playing upon his flute. He was slender, blue in color, except a yellowish cloth worn round his waist. He was bare of clothing. On his neck was hanging a string of pearls. His head was adorned with a crown of gold set with gems. His black curls of hair were falling over his shoulders from beneath the crown. There were gold bracelets on his arms, gold belt set with gems round his upper arms. The flute was gold, and at both ends of it were hanging clusters of pearls strung on red silk thread. His ankles were adorned with bangles made of gold. His face, Sri Krishna's face, there was a heavenly glow upon it. The eyes, oh, the look of them was simply bewitching, enchanting. The lips, those sweet, charming lips were smiling. Oh, what a smile that can draw to him all the worlds. His cheeks, oh, how soft and radiant are those cheeks. The reflection of those enchanting eyes and of the smile of those charming lips was dancing on those lovely cheeks. Those half-opened, blood-red lips were revealing the finest set of milk-white teeth. Those beautiful ears were decked with rings and pendants set in diamonds, emeralds, rubies, with a gait what a gait when Krishna dances. He is swimming in the air. Oh, the sweetness of the music that was coming out of that dusted flute. It sent thrills of unutterable bliss into the soul of the hearer. Altogether, he was a veritable personification of the most heavenly music. Ecstasy, bliss and love seem to have assumed a human form. Ecstasy, bliss, and love seem to have assumed a human form. His well-shaped small feet were dancing, keeping time with the eternal music of his magic flute. Oh, what a sight! The very gods envy such a sight. Glorious, glorious indeed is thy play, O Krishna. How a vision can make such a deep impact. It is not a casual one. It is not a surface level vision. It is deep. And finally, with all the outer alankars, he is not satisfied with the outer alankars only. He says ecstasy, bliss, and love seem to have assumed human form. Impersonal and personal harmoniously blended. Another vision, face of Buddha. The chin was chiseled to a perfect shape. Ears were exquisite in symmetry. The lips were indicating nothing but peace. Serenity was stamped upon these lowered eyelids. There was a cool luster upon those soft cheeks. Calmness and firmness reigned upon the chin. Nobility and grandeur were enthroned upon the vast forehead. The bare head presented coal black, wavy hair, gently resting on his majestic shoulders. His marble neck was superb and handsome. Oh, what a face! Heaven was upon that face. To look on it is to enjoy everlasting peace. Oh, blessed face, thou art Shanti personified. Yet another vision. There was a hazy light in a room. On an armchair was sitting the world-renowned Mahatma Gandhi. A short piece of white color covered his waist. He was dark in color, lean and bent, but on his face was the very light of God. His eyes were brilliant, and there was a contemplative look in them. Ramdas was sitting on the floor, about two yards in front of him. Wonder of wonders, almost visible rays of irresistible attraction were issuing out of him. Ramdas felt he was being drawn towards him with a powerful force, as though a strong magnet was drawing toward a tiny needle. Ramdas could sit no longer. He stood up, but could not maintain the posture. He was unconsciously drawn to the Mahatma Gandhi. Now his erect posture changed. He stood at an angle, his head leaning towards Mahatma. To avoid a fall, he moved toward the chair, walked up to the back of the chair, and there he stood in a great state of trance. Here one more uniqueness. As far as Lord Krishna and Lord Buddha were concerned, they come to our mind through concepts, through photos, through somebody giving us. We can agree. Blood. It was in 1920, as Vittal Rao, he had the darshan of Gandhiji. Since then, a lot of time has been spent on Gandhian thoughts, Gandhian attitude, Gandhian approach to God, Gandhian approach to spirituality, and many have taken very deep root in Papa. But in 1927, 28, when this book was brought, again he has the vision of him. Just imagine. So many lessons we have to. It's not a casual reading. Surface level reading will not give us anything. In-depth study, it's a must. But here also nobody else is there. He and the adorable forms. Now we move to another interesting portion. This is not very, unlike the previous dialogue, this is not very serious. There are lighter side also. Ramdas was out walking up to the hills. He was talking about Ram, no? How Ram comes. The sky was cloudy. A heavy downpour of rain was expected. Ramdas would not mind the rain. He carried no umbrella. He was going heedless of the coming rain. Ram thought that if he was thus allowed to wander on the hills, he would get drenched in rain. Ram is always kind and loving. His concern about his humble devotee is so great that he is ever on the watch to take care of him. As if he is watching, suddenly he was apprised by a passerby, Ram himself, of a call for him from a certain direction. He turned round and round, a widowed mother beckoning him from a compound to his right. Immediately, Ramdas retraced a few steps. Entering the compound, went into her house as invited. He was heartily welcomed by 4 mothers in the house, and they asked him to sit down on a mat spread for him. Ramdas took his seat. The kind mothers then put him several questions on Bhakti and God. Ramdas was happy to speak on those subjects. While he was doing so, it commenced to rain heavily, accompanied by a terrible storm. O Ram, as you did not want your slave to be caught in the storm, you brought him for shelter under the hospitable roof of your loving devotees. Your kindness and love, O Ram, are indeed boundless. Another clue for all of us, Not only tests, he also protects. But we should have that maturity to understand that he is protecting, Again, we take it at the surface level. Suppose we are there, we would have said yes. They wanted us to share some thoughts, we went there. We cleared some doubts, They had some genuine doubts, we went there to clear. As if, we are sitting on an upper pedestal and then they are on the. But the thing is, Papa says, that was all not important for him. He said how Ram manipulated things to protect him during the heavy downpour. It's a great, great lesson for all of us. To see the finger of Ram. How wonderfully magnificent is thy glory, O Ram. In the terrors of the storm, in the tremendous rush of the waters, in the awful midnight silence on the hills, in the dreadful sweep, moan and hiss of the wind, in the dead stillness of the faraway solitude, thou residest in all thy grandeur and majesty. Thy power and greatness are made manifest in these inspiring works of thine. Away the petty thoughts of an insignificant worldly life. Rise, O mind, to loftier heights. Lose thyself in the Almighty Ram, the first and the only cause, the truth, the reality that has manifested itself as this limitless universe. Thou art indeed the creator, the preserver, the destroyer of the world. All hail, all hail. You see the heavy rain and the storm. To us, ordinary people name it like that. But here you see a different interpretation. How wonderfully magnificent. In the terrors of the storm, in the tremendous rush of the water, in the awful midnight silence of the hills, in the dreadful sweep, moan and hiss of the wind, prakampanam, in the dead stillness of the faraway solitude, thou residest in all thy grandeur and majesty. Divya Sumangala Sarva Saktiman. Nama, in that fire, it comes. Varsha Maji, Pavana Maji, Varsha Maji.
Thank you.
So we next time when we see heavy rain, let us try, at least what our Papa felt. We have not raised ourselves to that level, but at least having heard this, we will not curse the rain, we will not curse the storm, we will not curse the wind, we will not curse the silence. O Ram, thy greatness indeed is unparalleled. Thou art the one loving parent of the whole universe. Thou art extremely kind to those who place all trust in thee. Thou art love, pure, unalloyed love. That thy greatness lies in thy infinite love. To know thee as love, pervading all the worlds, is to enjoy continued bliss. Thy love makes the whole world kin. To see thee in all beings and things is to love thee and receive thy unbounded love in return. Again, we remember the words of Gandhiji here. If you want to see God face to face, see Him in His creation and be one with it. We have to keep on remembering this so that at least 1% we can. If you want to see God face to face with Him, see Him in His creation and be one with it. Not merely seeing, be one with it. Here we find, His creation, the rain, and He became one with it. O Ram, thou art mighty beyond calculation. Thou art wise beyond measure. Thou art good beyond comprehension. Thou art love beyond all bounds. Thou art light beyond all lights. Thou art bliss beyond all emotions. Such a supreme being has assumed the form of the whole universe and is ever flooding it with His might, wisdom, goodness, love, light, and bliss. This is an inward journey, no doubt. But at the same time, He reminds us that this constant hammering of the attributes helps us the moment we open our eyes to see with that background, with that attitude, with that approach. Thou art wise beyond measure. Thou art good beyond comprehension. Thou art love beyond all bounds. Thou art light beyond all lights. Thou art bliss beyond all emotions. So anyway, what is called superlative. No? To go beyond superlative, we can't express. Good, better, best. Beyond best. That is what your Papa has done. He is beyond the superlative. So it can't be put in words. To know that He is beyond superlative, He is beyond, He is passion. He has used this. So as sadhakas, we should remember these words. So that we don't bring Him, limit Him, try to measure Him with our puny intellect or our wild wisdoms, stored up wisdom. Because He is beyond everything. Thou art eternal Brahman, sexless, desireless, unmovable, unlimited, unchangeable. Thou art perfect knowledge, everlasting bliss, endless peace, all-absorbing love. Wow. Papa is not content, na? Thou art the all-pervading, eternal witness. Thou art eternal freedom. Thou art nirguna, devoid of qualities, Thou art Trigunatita. Thou art infinite Shakti, power, energy. Thou art the light of lights. Sword cannot pierce thee, fire cannot burn thee, water cannot wet thee, air cannot dry thee. Thou art one imperishable truth. Thou art the same in cold and heat, pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor. Thou art the same to friend and foe. Thou art above good and evil, love and hate, success and failure. Thou art fearless, firm, all powerful. Thou art the one indivisible Atman. Thou art formless, nameless, incomprehensible, unthinkable, indestructible. The sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, the worlds, the whole universe is thy divine manifestation. Thou art incomparable, inexhaustible, invincible, undefinable. Thou art beyond Sat and Asat, being and non-being. Thou art the sound Om. Thou art the supreme Lord of Lords. Men, Rakshasas, spirits, all creatures, all things, all beings, all, prostrations to thee, O God of gods. So as a sadhaka, Papa is giving us these points that when we are alone, when we are blessed with a sattvic atmosphere in and around us, we try to dwell on the attributes. One more thing, when we repeat the attributes spoken of by others, it is only a repetition. It may not, need not touch and kindle. But if the attribute comes from our own mind, in our own manner, there is difference.
But Swamiji, for that we should have the knowledge.
We should have the
knowledge.
We should have the knowledge, no doubt. But God will provide. Why should we say we should have the knowledge? God will provide. Suppose immediately after this you go to the kitchen, you take a cucumber or a tomato or something, you are cutting it to make a salad. Suddenly you find the seed there. That seed can immediately think of creator, protector, destroyer. How it self-propagates. One single tiny, insignificant, seed. It is difficult even to hold it in our finger. Such a tiny seed, when it is sown, when it is nurtured, it sprouts, it becomes a plant, a fully grown plant. It flowers and it gives us tens and twenties and thirties and fifties of even hundred of tomatoes. In each and every tomato, there are hundreds of seeds. We are not doing anything. The tiny little seeds, God seated in the tiny little seeds, ensures self-propagation. This is something which we have directly felt. Suppose we think how powerful you are. When we walk through the fog, on a summer day, when we take shelter under a tree for shadows, suddenly we can see now. Like that, all these attributes are not to be learned. All these attributes are not to be learned by heart and repeated. Initially, okay. To train us it is necessary. But later on, the attributes should come from our own heart. That is, then Papa says, you will not be content with bringing out those ones, because you will start seeing more and more, no? As you start seeing the stillness of a tree, suddenly you will see, look at the stem, the roots, the leaves, the space behind it, and the wonderful seva of giving oxygen. So many things, you know. So as spiritual aspirants, we should never take anything lightly. We should develop, Papa is asking us, we should develop the habit of seeing the attributes placed before us. Yesterday we read, you remember? Everybody has forgotten. Something similar to this. Papa says, in solitude, we are exclusively with Mother Nature, the pristine form of God. Nature is a pristine form of God. We have the magnificent book of nature spread out before us, a picture of unsurpassing beauty and charm. See that? The spontaneous and blissful self-expression of the indwelling God. You are sitting on a rooftop or a mountain top. You are enjoying, you say, a wonderful evening. Ah, what a nice sight, from there you can see the wind is blowing. I could see the sunset. Bas. No, you are not deriving. You have forgotten the Creator. So what you enjoy will stay there only for that particular time. It is a surface level, superficial enjoyment. But here he says, the spontaneous and blissful self-expression of the indwelling God. Let us look at it, read in it, the glorious presentation and the varied activity of the beloved. Bah. Look on the infinite play of the infinite one, and by deep absorption into the beloved, enjoy immortal joy. This is the goal. All else is ephemeral, not worth striving for. Whether it is rain, whether it is, we put it as rain, so it just floods, there's damage. What sort of emotions that well up in our mind? We can say it has disturbed so many. It has denied many things for anybody. But even then we should know it's a play of the divine for his own reasons. So Papa gives us through, when we read this, so many such clues, directions, directives. See, in putting in simple word, whatever we see, we should never see it as on a casual way. Ramnam chanting should enable us to treat everything that he makes us to see, hear, touch, smell, taste. His finger in it. It is difficult, agreed. Absolutely difficult for all of us. But we can make a trial, Then only the joy which we felt at the time of chanting can be stretched into the non-chanting time. Otherwise, it is purely a part-time. You know? At that particular moment, we feel happy. After that, there may be, whenever we think about that, we may be feeling happy. But in all our activities, it doesn't get reflected. So we all should seriously think, because we are all votaries of Ramnam. We enjoy Ramnam. We consider it as our main sadhana. We are holding on to it with faith and devotion. But then the next question is, in spite of that, why is it that I feel disconnected with him when I am not chanting the name? I react to events and individuals from the individual's level, not from the God level, from the Almighty level. Because Ramnam chanting, according to Papa, is to make us know that he is seated within and he is making you to chant. That means he is there everywhere. So it cannot be from the individual level. But what happens is, even the chanting comes from the individual level. That is why we are not in a position to stretch it to the cosmic level. So there is a lot of things that to be done by chanting. Chanting also should come from not from the individual level. Chanting also should come from the cosmic level. You gave me the prompting. You are seated within. You gave a wonderful and all-powerful Nama. You chose me. You prioritized him. You made me to enjoy. You facilitated me to chant your name. Like that, we must. And then we chant and offer it to him. We close our eyes and offer every Ramnam to him. Gandhiji says, every Nama should make you move towards him, closer and closer. Somebody was asking him, repetition is boring. It's a boredom. To repeat the same thing again and again and again and again. Then Gandhiji said, do we not do it in mathematics? At the end of it, he says, it is not repetition. It is a movement towards him. When we are walking and moving towards an object, same leg, same type of steps, it is going. But the end is, we are nearing the object. For a practical onlooker, it is only a repetition of the same action. But for that particular person, he is walking towards the goal. So every Ramna,
in case of a train, going on moving. But he's going from Kanpur to Chennai, He's not bored. He's going on moving. Say repetition, but it makes us to reach there.
So it is not repetition. Gandhiji is, that particular word made us to think a lot about it. How can we are also chanting, Do we mean, you must feel. You must feel that you are moving towards him. Then you are trying to free yourself from the individual level to the cosmic level. With that background, when we come back, we will be able to stretch the same attitude towards whatever we deal with men and matters. So these are all some of the thoughts that he gives us while making us to go through at the feet of God. All is Ram. Next one is also very interesting. We will take it up day after tomorrow. So this is a powerful message for all of us. He gave us, solid, very serious thoughts. A subjective subject, where there were nobody inside us. The question was coming up. Intuitively, God was answering, and we were receiving it. But those of us who have not trained to sit with for such a long time, we may find it difficult to go along with the theme, though at the surface level we may be reading or hearing. But that is also needed. Afterwards, we had the darshan of Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, and Mahatma Gandhi. He was painting it with a word picture. in our mind. So if one has to draw a picture, especially a word picture, how meticulous one should be while observing the different features of the image, it cannot be surface level. It cannot be a casual look. Every form, every part, every body, what do we say that? Everything in that form, right from head to foot, I should be meticulous. I should be watching meticulously. I should be noting down meticulously. I must get involved in myself totally with it. I must become one with it. That was another lesson. And the third lesson was behind everything, how he is protecting us. Not only that he is testing us, he is protecting us. Not only that we get protected physically, individually, but we get a sense of inexplicable joy when we come to know that we are under his protection. The security that we feel. Once we know that directly, that is enough. And then from there again he took us to dwell on the various attributes. Then he made us to think, don't repeat the same attributes. Start bringing out attributes in your own way. The other one is an initial stage. At an initial stage, we sing glories, hymns, the slogas, stotras, namavalis. What happens to us is we may be with faith, we may be chanting Vishnu Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkar. Like that we may be chanting. And it has become a ritual and it has become a sentimental activity. Because if I miss it on a particular day, I feel something is missing in me. Okay, up to that tick. But then what happens? No change in me, I'm looking at me. Then I go deeper into it. And I am trying to understand it through my own assimilation. Udatma, Paramatma, Jana, every word, in every shloka, why? We want. So Papa is telling us, never do it on the surface level. We now feel, before he dropped to the body, he wrote, you should be a little more serious in your sadhana. We read it and we forget about it. In his own handwriting, he wrote his word. It was not dictation. It came from his heart. You should become a little more serious in your sadhana. So that means how to become serious? Go from the surface level to the message Papa is giving us today. Let us retain as much as we can. Then live up to. Keep on trying to live on. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Ram Om. Jai Ram. Jai Ram Om. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram Om. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai